What time is it? And you're already in a bar.
Oh, yeah.
How are
Well,
you?
the problem is this is pretty much the only place that I get coverage.
Is that your house?
Yeah, I've got a little bar at the top.
Oh, no. You got a bar in your house.
Jeez.
It's very necessary. Very necessary. I have a lot of people come over and whether it's people from radio or people from the label or pretty much anyone. And of course, it's come in handy during COVID because we haven't been able to go to bars.
That's the thing.
So you're responsible for stocking up this bar too? Like when people come over, or you're charging them as well, or how's it work?
No, this is all just I've got a fair collection of I do like my scotches and it's it's an unhealthy habit, but
the biggest challenge with lockdown I found was not cracking a beer before 12 o'clock. I mean, that was
seriously. Time just kind of disappears when it comes to gauging the proper drinking time during lockdown. But I think that's one of the good things about lockdown as well. You stop caring.
Yeah,
that's
you do.
true.
You really let yourself go. I let myself go. I put on like 5 or 6 kgs and I just can't shake.
Mate, I was the same. I'm still trying to shake it, but it's still there, unfortunately.
Now,
have you got kilos?
Have you got a recording studio in your home as well?
I do.
Right.
I do.
Did you record your album there?
Would you like a recording studio tour?
Oh, mate, we're getting the tour of Guy Sebastian's house.
Right,
This is great.
There we go.
And also, can we stay when the bubble's open as well, too? Well, just a couple of weeks.
Well, yes, exactly. Well, you guys are in full kind of freedom right now.
Well, you're back out to level 1 again, which is quite nice. It's quite weird.
Oh, that's really good.
Yeah.
So I'll show you the studio. Oh, the lights aren't on. Hang on.
This is
it's
amazing.
a bit of a mess. I was recording last night. There's an artist. So this is I'm so lucky to be able to have this in the house. But can you see that? Is that the internet still going?
This is
and then I've got Big and Tupac here.
Oh, awesome.
Is that like, what are they made out of, brass or something?
Yeah, so it's this Aussie artist, right? Check this out. He sculpts them by hand, and it's so realistic. Like, and it's like a half skull, and then half Tupac. But he's got like the nose ring and everything in there. Wow. And then we've got Biggie as well. But look at the detail in the eyes and stuff. Like, I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah,
but it's
that's incredible.
Can I just say,
crazy.
Guy Sebastian, this has been a wonderful tour of your house.
It has been an impromptu tour.
I know.
I've been a big fan of your Guy, and always thought you just seemed like one of the nicest, most genuine people around in the industry, and it's awesome to see that sort of come across today.
Oh, thank you. It's a long time coming, this house. It took 5 years to build. I went through some horrible build
Oh, really?
It was well worth it. I grew up in Adelaide in a like we always had everything we needed, but we weren't fancy people, and so like I just never get used to being in this house. Even Jules, like, we sort of did not grow up like this. So every single day, we just cannot believe we're in a nice new house.
Well, I'm sure, and I'm sure
foreign.
when you grow up not having as much, and when you reach the lofty heights of your success, I'm sure you appreciate it every day and appreciate every part of it.
Yeah, absolutely. And then it's trying to like make my kids appreciate stuff.
Yeah,
like not every house has a bar in it, kids.
No, seriously, I just don't. That's my biggest thing. I just want them to, appreciate things and look after stuff. And like, I'm still really weirdly, like not thrifty, but like I really look after my stuff, like whether it's a bike or like anything. Like, I've just got to make sure I appreciate it and value it. And I think you don't get that unless you grow up not having everything. And so, anyway, hopefully
so what you need to do,
raise little crap.
What you need to do is you need to build a shack out the back of the house, leave the kids in there. They can do it.
Seriously, with no electricity or running water.
Well, Guy Sebastian, I guess we should get to the purpose of the interview. It's not for us to do a mistake of MTV Cribs or anything like that. Was, of course, to talk about your brand new album. It's your 9th album, which is pretty cool. It's called Truth. And I understand it was quite a journey for you to get in the studio and to bring this out. So it must feel good to have it out there in the world now.
Yeah, look, it took a while, which, wasn't sort of the plan, but I'm glad I took my time. It's definitely a snapshot of highs and lows. It's been 3 or 4 years in the making, and in that time there's been some interesting things to navigate, to say the least. Like I've sort of had to deal with some loss and grief and things like that, and family members, friends who have gone through mental health and lost that battle. I've gone through an awful management split, which was really tough. After 12 years of management, it sort of ended with somebody that I really, really trusted, and like I'm talking properly trusted. With management, it's a weird relationship. They know everything about you. They literally like there's nothing off limits, and you're so close. And our family was close, our kids were close, and ended up with him being arrested over here. And it's an awful thing to watch. It wasn't something I enjoyed seeing, even though
he's arrested for something he did to you.
Yeah. So there was some things that I found, unfortunately, that I kind of knew. I sort of knew in the back of my mind, but well, not in the back of my mind. I kind of knew, and I just didn't want to believe it, if I'm being honest. Like this was someone very, very close to me who I still, for the life of me, I don't know why it had to happen. I don't know. I just don't. I just there's no logic in it to me.
Right.
And so I just felt very betrayed and very very hurt by it all. So it was hard, pretty hard to swallow. And it was all over the news, which made it doubly weird. Like seeing someone that I cared so deeply for, it wasn't easy to watch, if I'm being honest. It wasn't a victorious moment, even though it was years of kind of getting kicked in the nuts by this bloke in like through courts. And I was trying to keep, like I kept it civil, and it just kind of got a little bit out of hand, and then got criminal. Sorry to hear that.
It's never not. You just feel so betrayed, don't you, when stuff like that happens with people that close to you?
Yeah, I mean it's awful, because you still don't want bad things to happen to that person. Like when you care for someone so deeply, it's sort of, I'm not wired in that way. I'm not a vengeful person. I just sit here going, literally, I'm just going, like, what? Why? Like, why are you on such a good wicket? We had such great things happening together, and like great memories, and travel the world, and like I still don't understand it. So it's hard to swallow. But it was really hard to start the album process, because I was in this position where I was kind of made to feel like without them I would fail and I'd just completely fall over. So I started writing this album, and I felt like almost like I'd forget how to write or how to do what I did. I felt a bit crippled or something, like creatively. And I thought that was it. Legit, like I thought, wow. That's my career done or whatever. And then I ended up sort of having the best couple of years that I've had in music and in my career in the last couple of years. So I had these highs, massive highs, and then real weird lows to deal with as well. So I guess the album's like, it shows that there's a lot of emotion, and then lots of like joyous songs. Like the new song is pretty joyous.
I'm glad things have turned out for the better for you, my friend. That's good. That's good to hear. Did you find sometimes when you write a song about someone, not necessarily about that situation, but about someone, do you have to tell them, hey, just so you know, I might have written a top 40 smash hit about you?
Even if it's your wife, Jules, or something like that. Do you have that happen?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. Look, Jules has probably heard the song a million times before it actually gets released, because I'm playing it for her and going, what do you think? I've just changed the snare on this, or I've just, she's heard it so many times. She's probably sick of it and doesn't find any romantic value in it anymore. But then there's songs like, even there's a song about a friend of mine who passed. So I played the demo for the family, and just to make sure they were okay, and then kind of kept them updated every time the song was updated, or I was going to sing it on a TV show or something. Or my cousin, like there was a song that I released just before this current single, Love on Display. I released Standing With You, which was, I actually wrote about my cousin. He shared this Instagram post on mental health and his battle with depression. And so it was something that I didn't just want to write about, obviously. And it wasn't specific, like in the lyrics that it was him, but I wanted him to know that he inspired the song, because his post was about helping others that are dealing with the same thing. And so after I wrote the song, I rang him and I said, "Hey man, I saw your post and I'm heartbroken for you, but I just wanted to let you know, like it really inspired me to write this song." And I sent him the song, and there was, a lot of emotion around the place. He was so stoked that something as simple as just sharing something on Instagram has now affected so many people. I've never ever in my life received as much feedback about a song as Standing With You. There's so many people who are suffering at the moment and need to know that they're not alone. So it's been a really important song.
Oh, that's awesome. We are Guy Sebastian with us. Guy, I know you're a busy guy, so before you go, I found an article.
By the way, that's a great name for an album.
Busy Guy.
Busy Guy.
Busy Guy. Maybe your next album, Busy Guy.
Yes.
I found an article, things you didn't know about Guy Sebastian. There's a couple here. I want to see if Guy Sebastian knows these things about himself, all right?
All right.
Did you know that Guy Sebastian loves his mum's curry, and so does Mel B from the Spice Girls? Did you know that?
I did know that.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah, Mel sampled a little bit of my mum's curry. It was, yes.
That's pretty cool. Okay,
we put the spice into the Spice Girls.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Oh, that's real good.
Jeez. Just like that comes to you. That's very good.
Our pun game is on fire, Guy Sebastian.
Yeah.
Don't tell Guy Sebastian we went for 2.5 years on that one. When Guy Sebastian
It's
first...
scary how good you are at that.
When Guy Sebastian first met his wife, it was love at first sight. Did you know that?
You know what? It wasn't.
Oh, there we go. They lied to us.
Okay.
Yes.
At what site? What does it love?
Well, we were real good mates, Jules and I. So I actually tell the story of how I was very apprehensive to start a relationship with her, because my previous girlfriend, I was very good mates with, and then we dated and we ballsed it up, and then we kind of never spoke to each other again. And so I didn't want the same thing to happen to Jules. And so I was like, umming and ahhing. And it kind of ended up being more of a, when you're really good mates with somebody and then you end up going, oh, she's a bit of all right, actually. I don't know. I think maybe I'm feeling something. So it actually grew. Those feelings grew, and yeah.
Well, I don't know what shabby website you've been on, Ben.
Let's go. The final one. You don't want to know what websites have been on. Guy Sebastian has got Oprah Winfrey's seal of approval. That's the final one I want to throw at you. Did you know that?
I did know that, yes. That was a pretty special moment. I've got to meet some incredible people. I've got to say Oprah was amazing. I sung for her twice. She was in Australia, and she did this event, and I sung, did like an hour set, and she was meant to stay for 2 songs and do the obligatory, thanks to me. And she stayed for the whole set, and then on the way home, I get this call, and Oprah personally said, "Oh, I want Guy to sing at our rap party. We're going to do a rap party at the end of our Aussie trip with just the Harpo staff, and we'd love for him to do that." So me and my band, we played, and like Oprah's on stage with us, arms around us for the whole set. It was such a surreal moment, and she was incredible. Like, we were all in tears. She did this speech, and I often still quote a lot of this speech, because she made her staff member feel like every single person had such purpose. So she's like, she's reading all these stories, some lady from Geraldton or some country town, and how their trip has affected her and changed her life. And then she's like, "Now, Phil in accounting, that is your story. That's not just my story. That, you in HR, Rachel in HR, that is your story." And they're all sitting there crying, feeling so
that's awesome.
It's amazing.
She's like Jesus, isn't she?
Yeah, she's amazing.
She seriously is.
Oh, Guy Sebastian, great catching up with you, buddy. And so good to have new music from you in the world. The new album, T.R.U.T.H, out now, Guy Sebastian. Thanks for the tour of the house, and thanks for taking your time.
Pleasure. And I'll be over there playing live really soon, so keep abreast of
information.
That's good. Yeah,
I think that's what the website Ben's been looking at.
No.
Yeah, that's right.
So when you come over here, you can stay at my house, but FYI, I don't have a bar, by the way.
Yeah.
But there is something.
Sorry, mate. I'm not slumming it anymore.
Good on you, mate. Have a good one.